continue with Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. So there will be some quotes and my thoughts regarding the quotes. Now let me think. This one. Yeah, I think I might. Okay, read it. So this is a conversation between James Taggart and his future wife, whom he chooses to marry. He is impersonating someone, actually. He pretends to be a just businessman, which he is not. Although he's very rich, he's very influential, but he's not just, he's not reasonable. And the girl, his future wife, mistakenly thinks that he is her hero. So she draws back, she runs away because she thinks that James mistakenly thought that she wanted him for his money. So she's kind of shy because of that, because she's not that kind of a girl. She's not a gold digger. And her words, "Oh God, I wasn't hinting or she blushed furiously, whirled around and ran, vanishing up the long, steep stairs of the rooming house." He stood on the sidewalk, feeling an odd, heavy, foggy sense of satisfaction. Feeling as if he had committed an act of virtue, and as if he had taken his revenge upon every person who had stood cheering along the 300-mile trek of the John Galt line. So this, the morality of James Taggart is that of a destroyer, of a parasite who doesn't accept the fact that this reality is real. He denies the reality of this reality, and he adopted a moral code that is about whims and thoughts. Like thank you for the thumbs up, whoever it is, and to those two guys, thank you very much. I encourage others to do the same, thumbs up, and you can say hi and tell me where you guys are joining me from, and whether you have read Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, whether you know anything about the author and her philosophy, objectivism. So he is someone, so his sense of satisfaction, why I chose this passage to read to you. Sometimes we have people like this. Sometimes we ourselves might be like this, like as if hurting someone gives us a sense of victory, like, and hurting someone by our own body, like not just physically attacking that someone, but fooling them or harming ourselves in order to prove a point to our parents or someone else. Yeah, that's a little rotten, and that's what's happening in this scene. Actually, James Taggart impersonated someone, and he made her feel bad because he dislikes her, actually, because of her hero worship, because of the fact that she admits that reality is real and she wants to achieve things in life. She wants to achieve through productive work, through honesty, and he dislikes that. He's saying that nothing is absolute, there are no virtues, honesty is not honesty, or honesty is not valuable. So he despises reality, he despises virtue for being virtue. And this is something we see across the globe, especially today, like people hating Israel for being Israel, for instance, yeah, saying that Israel shouldn't exist at all, for instance, or hating the rich for being rich. And it's not just like I could disagree with some actions of one specific Israeli government, yeah, or a few governments. But it's not just that. In their cases, it's just like blind hatred of the country itself, or blind hatred towards all the rich people, with the assumption that if they are rich, then it means they are rotten, they cheated, etc. So we have people like James Taggart everywhere on our planet. A lot of people who hate reality, who hate facts, who just live based on their belief systems. And it's pretty cultist, like it's just blind faith, you know? So the next passage is no, let's see. Yeah, she likes this guy, Taggart, and she doesn't know yet who he is. So she says the following. She tells him, that future that they are all talking and trembling about, it will be as you made it, because you had the courage none of them could conceive of. All the roads to wealth that they are scrambling for now, it's your strength that broke them open, the strength to stand against everyone, the strength to recognize no will but your own. So she was praising that guy, and he's not happy about that. Yeah. But this is her way of thinking. Yes, this is the way of thinking of a decent human being, of someone who likes, who loves life, someone who wants to achieve, someone who believes or concludes that you can achieve things through productive work, through your own effort. And she praises him like the strength to stand against everyone, yeah, the strength to recognize no will but your own. So this is why she likes him, because she thinks he has got that, but in reality it's not him, it's his sister who built the railroad. And again, thank you for the 4 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Others, you can do the same. Send me thumbs up and leave a few messages, okay, so that we can interact a bit. So, to stand against everyone, yes, sometimes we have to make that choice. And sometimes we are afraid, like, what others will think of me. Like when I make some pro-Israeli content, for instance, I am asking myself, will I lose some trust or some, not friendships, but some connections to other human beings who are pro-Palestinian at my college or elsewhere, yeah? But still I choose to be openly pro-Israeli because it's about my values, it's about my reason. If I choose to be silent, I will feel like spineless. I will feel like as if I'm a slug, not a proper human being who can stand straight and talk straight, you know? So, and this is coming from a non-binary gay drag queen, so don't misinterpret those words, okay? We have to make those choices, you know, from time to time. Am I choosing integrity? Am I choosing honesty? Or am I cowarding into my own shell? Am I like fooling myself into this idea that there is no mental clarity, that, oh, well, both sides are a little guilty, let there be peace without any context, you know, those very generalist things. And some people do the same towards Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, they're like, oh, well, both sides are to be blamed. I wish there would be peace without without any like not even retaliation, without punishing the side who started the war. You know, it would it's like saying, I wish the Nazis would not be invaded and defeated by the alliance that was against the Nazis, and blaming the Americans, the French, the British for standing up against evil and making war against evil, you know. So that's childish, that's very immature, that's even philosophically and mentally, I'd say, dishonest when you say, oh, I just want peace, I don't want to know anything, let there be peace without any context. It's very immature, and it doesn't work that way. Like if you say, I wish there was peace between the Jews and the Nazis, the rapists and their victims, that's very rotten. And this rotten ideology is parading across the globe. You know, when you equalize between the two sides, when you refuse to think, analyze, or you just buy into some ideology as a religious zealot without any facts. Like, okay, this side is the weak, so I will be with the weak, even if the weak are terrorists. That's twisted. Unfortunately, it's, yes, parading on our globe. And if you are ready to go against everyone, to recognize your own will, if you're sure that you analyze and you do it properly and everything is correct, then that's beautiful. That's human in the highest, in the most beautiful way, when you can go against the current. Of course, you need to consider also your safety. We know that historically, sometimes, like Giordano Bruno, he was killed because he went against the Catholic Church. So that's already a choice. In objectivism, by the way, if you choose to risk your life, but you choose it consciously, and it's based on your values, then even that is okay, if no one is forcing you to do that. Yeah. We'll get there, I think, by the end of the book. I might choose a few quotes, or I will share that part when one of the heroes is risking his life and he's caught, and they torture him. But he chose that. He knew that maybe that would have been the outcome of his risk-taking, and that's okay. But if you're not that type of a person, if it's not about your life, if it's just about the fear of being condemned or misunderstood, then you're making yourself spineless. You're making yourself less of a human in a way, and you will slowly, without noticing it, you will start living that way. Your posture may even, become hunched. Your eyes may run away. You may not be able to look someone else in the eye because of your chosen lifestyle, because you choose to not speak up, even when you know that what you are going to say is true. But if you choose fear as a guiding value to yourself, or as a guiding standard of measurement, like, okay, if I'm afraid, if it's too scary, then I'm not doing it, then you are crippling yourself. This is what I would say. This is how I would interpret it. Okay, next passage. So there is this businessman who complains to someone else. He owns a business, and he says, I don't see where Okay, so I'll, yes, read the exchange. So one guy says, I hear Mr. Quinn was making plans a year ago to open a branch in Colorado. The bill knocked that out cold. So now he's made up his mind to move there, lock, stock, and barrel. The other guy says, I don't see where that makes it right. The bill was necessary. It's a rotten shame. Old firms that have been here for generations, there ought to be a law. So he wants monopoly. And a lot of people who don't know Ayn Rand do not understand that Ayn Rand does not defend, monopolists, the super rich who are dishonest. In her books, we often see also bad, rich, and influential people who are interested in coercion, corruption, monopoly. And this guy is one of those type of business people. So his argument is my company is old, therefore I need to be protected by the government. And he calls it a rotten shame. You know, the interesting twist. They like that verbiage. Yeah? They like to blame others. He thinks that when there is competition, his organization, his firm, needs to have some automated defense against the new companies, against competition. And that's a little rotten, you know? Yeah. And you have those type of characters in the book too, like rich men who are dishonest, businessmen who are not logical, not just, this is why you should read the book for yourself instead of just, reading some analysis by someone else or even listening to my lives. It's not enough. You'd better read the book for yourself as well. Okay. Now, next. Okay. Now, they speak of Henry Reardon, who is this good rich guy. He's an inventor, an innovator. He got there on his own. He was an orphan. He went through poverty. He accumulated his wealth through hard work, through honesty, through reason. Okay? And this bad businessman speaks of Reardon in this passage. Okay? And I want to get some Reardon metal too. I need it, but try and get it. He has a waiting line that would stretch across 3 states. Nobody can get a scrap of it, except his old friends, people like Wyatt and Danager and such. It isn't fair. It's discrimination. I'm just as good as the next fellow. I'm entitled to my share of that metal. So Reardon metal is that metal which was invented by Henry Reardon. And again, thank you to everyone who gave me thumbs up. Thank you to those 5 people who did that. Hearts to you. And I encourage others to give me thumbs up too. And you can also leave comments, say hi, and tell me where you guys are joining me from. I'm located in Van Nuys, North Hollywood. I wonder if there are any locals who watch, this live. Any people from North Hollywood, from Hollywood in general, and Los Angeles? Very curious. Yeah. So this bad businessman, he uses those words. Discrimination. It's not fair. It's discrimination. So he thinks that he is entitled. He thinks that the universe in general owes him. Yeah, people like this, they feel like the government owes them, the society owes them. They are entitled to stuff. They are, and this equalist, this Marxist and socialist idea that we are all equal. and we all deserve the same. That's not true, especially in the world of business. Like if you proved that you are not a good businessman, which is the case of this guy, then other businessmen might not want to do business with you. If you instead of constructive action, you choose whining and complaining, and you think that others are obliged to take care of your needs, then you're not good. And nobody owes you anything, actually. It's so interesting how people like this try to equalize everyone. But even if we look at nature, like a small tree and a big tree, you cannot give the same amount of water to a small plant and a big tree and claim that it's equalization. Yeah? If you take one big part of water from the big tree, you will drown the small plant. And if the big tree is not watered properly, it will face some problems. So you will harm both the plants through your equalization, through claiming that a plant is a plant, all plants are equal, blah, blah, blah. So it is kind of done in the human world when they say all humans are equal, yeah, and everybody the same fair share of wealth or money or whatever. See, some people have visions and dreams. Some people want to build companies, products, and others, they are only interested in taking care of their basic needs like food, shelter, sex, etc. And that's it. So, how can you say that those two individuals are the same? Or, in terms of the value of life, let's say we have two different individuals. One is a creator, she, they might be a doctor, an artist, a business person, and then you have someone who is hateful, who blames the world for his, her, or their own problems, who is a bully. And how can you claim that those two individuals are equal? It's wrong. And by doing that, you deprive the smart people of some resources or some energy that, had they not been denied that, they would have gone further. In socialist contexts, it is done, like sometimes a socialist government, for instance, or a collectivist government, it could be nationalist as well, they might choose to give everyone the same level field and put a ceiling on everyone. And that deprives people, the creative people at least, of some growth. They hit the ceiling and they cannot go further. For instance, like maybe as a private teacher, I could work with, let's say, 10 private students, but a government may tell me, no, you have to take only 5 students so that other teachers are also given a chance. And that's crazy. And talks like that are also taking place in the book. Some collectivist individuals claim that books should be published by everyone and every author should have the right to sell only a certain amount of books, to print and sell only a certain amount of books, and that's it. So that other artists and writers are given a chance and everyone is equal. And in socialist societies, stuff like this was happening, you know? So, next quote. Okay, let's move on. Okay, it's a love type of moment. So Henry Reardon, the good businessman, starts a relationship, an affair with Dagny Taggart, who is the vice president of Taggart Transcontinental, and they are already in a relationship. So this dialogue is between the two. Okay. Apparently, their idea of the height of glory is to deal with people who need them. I can't stand people who need me. He glanced at her. Do you need me? She answered, her voice earnest, desperately. He laughed. No, not the way I meant. You didn't say it the way they do. How did I say it? Like a trader who pays for what he wants. They say it like beggars who use a tin cup as a claim check. So, even in love and relationship, I see that, to be honest. Sometimes I see people who are together because of pity. And I think there are, I'm not sure if I can claim this to be true, I wouldn't like to generalize it, but this idea of using our weaknesses to make others pity us and to keep them attached to us based on our imperfections. Like, I'm sick, I have this condition, if you leave me, if you don't become my boyfriend, I will feel sad, hurt, or whatever. So there is this strategy of inducing guilt. And this passage is beautiful. I like the following line. How did I say it? Dagny asks, and Henry says, like a trader who pays for what he wants. So, this idea of an exchange, in this case, an exchange of virtues for virtues. Like, she fell in love with him because he is a decent businessman, he is a decent human being, he's an achiever. He didn't fall in love with his money or his wealth. He fell in love with his character, with his mind, with his creative motor. And a lot of people get this wrong about Ayn Rand as well. They think that Ayn Rand promotes materialism, even in love relationships, in a very bad way. But that's not the case. So she fell in love with him because of those qualities. Like, he's a creator, he's honest, integrity is important to him. And the opposite is true as well. He fell in love with her because she's a vice president and she actually runs the company. And she's a decent human being. She stands straight, like she's got the spine, she's got the brains, she's got the balls. So she is honest, rational, she's an achiever, and he falls in love with the spirit, with that motor, with not just with the results of that mind and that body, that energy, but also the energy and the creativeness themselves. And they trade virtues. It's two creative, smart, free, rational beings, acknowledging that rationality, that freedom, that intelligence, that in integrity and productiveness. And so this is why they fall in love. And Ayn Rand, the book is so multi-layered. She gives us, all of this in very beautiful ways. Some people say or think that Ayn Rand is a graphomaniac, like she's writing along in a boring way. The same idea could be described for long pages. But she's she's entering into the psyche of her characters. She is opening some gates and she's giving all the details so that we understand everything. And I love that in her literature, she's trying not to leave any room for alternative interpretation or misunderstanding, and that's beautiful. So I like that about her works. It's about economy, it's about love and psychology, interpersonal relationships. When we fall in love, we fall in love for some reasons, even if we don't want to acknowledge that. But it can be some facial features of the individual, it can be some characteristics, the way the person talks, or we have this interesting thing which is called sapiosexual, when people find intelligence sexy, right? So you still fall in love based on some combination of characteristics and traits, even if you don't want to acknowledge it, even if you don't think through it. That's the case. So Ayn Rand deciphers a lot of that, and she gives us the understanding, like why some people fall in love with each other, why some people choose to cheat, and is cheating always wrong or not. There was this woman who wrote on Instagram, and she said, well, Ayn Rand was bad because she was cheating her husband. And my answer was, most probably she and her husband had a very honest talk about it. And most probably they came to some common ground. You know, we have open relationships, we have relationships where partners do not accept jealousy or a sense of ownership, like your body is mine and you have no right to do blah blah blah. So, and interestingly, she later removed her commentary. This is something I see regularly. So there is this type of people who, when they don't have anything to respond, instead of saying, oh, that's an interesting perspective, oh, I didn't know that, I haven't thought of it, they just remove their comment. And like also my comments are lost when they do that, unfortunately, right? So yeah, this happened to me as well. All right, so the last quote for today. No, oh, this is beautiful. No, if I read it now, I will have to give a lengthy commentary on this, and it's a different theme. So I'll leave this one for our next live, okay? Subscribe to my YouTube channels and give me likes whenever you watch this piece of content, okay? It's not hard, right? Just one thumbs up. If you're here, you have watched through, I will appreciate thumbs up and commentaries, and you can share, because this is about education. I'm building a community of new intellectuals. Ayn Rand also gave us this concept of a new intellectual. So I'm trying to establish new intellectuals community, an educational business, I would say. So you can support me with your likes, comments, and shares, and stay tuned. In the description, I also gave the link to my TikTok channel. You can also follow me on TikTok. I go live there from time to time too. And the benefit of TikTok is that we can interact. You can come live and I can hear your voice. We can have a more lively live experience. Thank you, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.